Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the podcast, The Endurance of Labor Laws. I'm your lovely host, Lesley Sullivan. Today is episode 163, and today we're going to take a look at the Superfund sites located in the state of Nebraska. But before we dive in, let me give a big shout out to my listeners because as usual, you guys are awesome. We love to see you here. So a big shout out to New York, West Virginia, California, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, New Jersey, Maryland, and Illinois. In terms of countries, the United States and the Russian Federation. A little bit of housekeeping here. Do check us out on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. It is The Endurance of Labor Laws. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that way you will know when we have new videos. Probably what we're going to do going forward is we will post the videos and the podcast as well, but we will probably also post some interviews on YouTube, so that will always be good to see those as well. In terms of things that are celebrated on November 10th, just FYI, it is National Civic Pride Day, it is National Forget-Me-Not Day, and it is also National Vanilla Cupcake Day. So if you like cupcakes, go get one. It's really good to reward yourself. Okay, so as usual in regards to the Superfund sites, the first ones that we're going to list are the ones that are current and active. And so that means that they are still a problem and they are still contaminating the environment. We do have one that has been deleted. So there's only one in the state of Nebraska that has been handled so far. And there are none that they are proposing to being added to the list. But that doesn't mean that they don't have Superfund sites located there in the state of Nebraska. Because again, you have two different lists. So you have the Superfund site list, and that is, they have about 40,000 of them on that list. And those are littered all across the United States. The list that we are reading from is the National Priorities list. So just because this is the only ones that we're looking at, that doesn't mean that these are the only ones that are out there, because this is literally just a fraction of what is out there. So needless to say, these are the worst of the worst. So that's why these are on the National Priorities list, which is why we should address them quickly. Now again, a lot of these, they have been a problem since before the 1980s, and yet they are still an issue. Kind of shocking, kind of surprising with that. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So the first site that is current and active and causing a problem is 10th Street site. It is located in Platte or Plate, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, county. Let's see here, the population there is 32,237 people, and that is as of 2010, so that rate or that population total is a little low. Let's see, it says the groundwater and soil are contaminated by VOCs from dry cleaning. This one has been on the list since 1990. The next one that is current and active is Bruns Co-op Association Associated Properties. It is located in Butler County. Let's see, the population there is 8,369. The groundwater is contaminated by VOCs that was used for grain fumigation. And this one has been on the list since 1996. The next one is Claiborne Street Well. It is located in Hall County. The population there is 58,607 people. The groundwater is contaminated by PCE from solvent industry and dry cleaning. This one was added to the list in 1992. The next one is Cornhusker Army Ammunition Plant. It is also located in the county of Hall. The groundwater is contaminated by explosives. Soil is also contaminated by explosives and heavy metals. This one was added to the list in 1987. The next one is Garvey Elevator. It is located in Adams County. The population there as of 2010 was 31,364. The groundwater and soil are contaminated by VOCs that were used for grain fumigation. This one was added to the list in 2005. The next one is Hastings Groundwater Contamination. It is located in two counties. It's located in Adams and Clay. We just discussed Adams County. Clay County, as of 2010, has 6,542 people, so it has probably increased since then. Let's see, it says the groundwater and soil are contaminated by VOCs, PAHs, explosives, and other organics as well as heavy metals from several sources. This one was added to the list in 1986. The next one that is current and active is Lindsay Manufacturing Company. It is located in Platte or Plate, however you want to pronounce that. Let's see here. The groundwater and soil are contaminated by heavy metals and VOCs from an industrial plant. This one was added to the list in 1989. The next one is Nebraska Ordnance Plant. It is located in Saunders County. The population there as of 2010 was 22,278 people and has probably increased since then. The groundwater is contaminated by VOCs and explosives. It says some of the soil is contaminated as well and possible unexploded ordnance. So kind of strange there with that, but they have multiple contaminations, the groundwater as well as the soil. This one was added to the list in 1990. The next one that is current and active is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, I think it's Ogala, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, groundwater contamination. It is located in Keith County. The population there as of 2010 is 8,368, more than likely has increased over the years. The groundwater is contaminated by VOCs from a electronics industry and dry cleaning. This one was added to the list in 1994. It's kind of strange they have so many dry cleaning Superfund sites or Superfund sites that were caused by dry cleaning mishaps. That's kind of concerning there. The next one that is current and active is Omaha Lead Site. It is located in Douglas County, The population there is 584,526 people. Let's see here. The soil is contaminated by lead from a former refining plant. This one has been on the list since 2003. The next one is Parkview Well. It is located in Hall County. The groundwater is contaminated by VOCs and was added to the list in 2006. The next one is Sherwood Medical Company. It is located in Madison County. The population there as of 2010 is 34,876. The soil and groundwater are contaminated by VOCs. This one was added to the list in 1992. The next one that is current and active is West Highway 6 and Highway 281. It is located in Adams County. The soil and groundwater are contaminated by VOCs from a former Dana Holding Corporation plant. This one was added to the list in 2006. And it says here, I've never heard of Dana Incorporated, but that company is an American supplier of axles, drive shafts, transmissions, and electrodynamic, thermal, sealing, and digital equipment for conventional, hybrid, and electric-powered vehicles. So, kind of interesting with that one. Was not aware of that corporation. But the next one that we're going to mention here is one that actually has been cleaned up and is good to go and has been deleted from the list. It is called Waverly Groundwater Contamination. It was located in Lancaster County. The groundwater and soil were contaminated by VOCs from grain fumigation and nitrates, sulfates, and heavy metals. This one was cleaned up and good to go as of 2006. So short list for Nebraska. They do have quite a few, but not as bad as the northeastern part of the United States. I'm just kind of surprised they don't have more that have been deleted. The only thing that does concern me is that they tend to have kind of more than normal rate of Superfund sites that are caused by the dry cleaning industry. I find that kind of odd because Nebraska, I don't know much about that state, but it surprised me that they have a dry cleaning issue, so to speak, in terms of how to properly dispose of those chemicals. One thing I do not like about dry cleaning is, first of all, the cost of it. It's very expensive. And number two, I think it's ever since Obamacare was passed or something, now we are charged a environmental fee whenever we take something to the dry cleaner. So basically, I guess the dry cleaner is now charging additional fees per item that you get dry cleaned in regards to helping them pay to helping the dry cleaner afford to be able to properly dump those chemicals that they use for dry cleaning. I'm just guessing that's what that is. But I've noticed that for several years there is a environmental service fee. So who knows if that was charged before and maybe they just didn't let us know. But now it's on most of all the receipts, at least the ones that I see. And I just think it's kind of ridiculous how much they charge for stuff. So needless to say, there are many clothes that I do not even bother purchasing because it's dry clean. So I'm just like, okay, I will have to get fancy in terms of dressing in another manner. And so there's just a lot of things that I don't buy anymore because dry cleaning has increased in terms of pricing. And I just find it kind of ridiculous that whenever you get dry cleaning cleaned, the cost of it is so expensive. It's almost like you're having to rebuy that item over and over and over again, which I find to be very ridiculous. But that's just my opinion there. It's just what it is. But needless to say, the EPA has its work cut out for it in the state of Nebraska. There was only one that dealt with the Army, which would be the federal government. So the federal government caused one Superfund site that we know of in the state of Nebraska. The others were caused by, I would say, private sector companies, and hopefully they can get these things cleaned up. And if these companies are bankrupt or if they don't know what to do, then they do need to contact the EPA and have them help out with this, because some of these Superfund sites go back to the 80s. And again, that's just when they were proposed to being added to the list or when they were actually added to the list. So that means they were actually a problem quite a while before they were actually identified to be added to the list. So there is kind of a delay for some stupid reason in terms of cleaning up the environment, which I find very odd, because you would think that if your groundwater, your surface water, and your soil are contaminated, you would think that that people would want to get that corrected as soon as possible, and you would think that people would not want to have that contamination anymore. But needless to say, when it comes to the EPA and cleaning things up, it is extremely slow, and it's really bizarre. Really, really, really bizarre about things like this. Because again, the technology, I've mentioned this before, the technology has changed over the years. So again, I think that these companies and or the EPA, they should contact and hire companies in the private sector that specifically handle hazardous waste and they know how to clean stuff up. There are many companies that do that, and maybe we will do a podcast episode about that. So maybe that will help out the EPA a little bit. Maybe give them some ideas on how to properly spend our money. So hopefully they will do just that and practice some due diligence and not be unethical anymore, especially with our tax dollars. But I will go ahead and end this podcast. But as usual, until next time, I pray that you're happy, healthy, and whole, that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, and God bless.